Have you ever felt a surge of anger or frustration when you saw someone being treated unfairly? That reaction is known as a fairness violation response. It's the emotional, cognitive, and behavioral reaction people have when they perceive something as unjust, whether it happens to them or to others. This response is deeply rooted in our sense of justice and equality. In this video, we'll explore what triggers these reactions, how they manifest, and why they matter so much in our daily lives. Let's start by breaking down the simple definition of a fairness violation response. A fairness violation response is simply how a person reacts when their expectations of justice, equality, or fair treatment are broken. It's not just about big injustices. Sometimes, even small acts of favoritism or bias can trigger strong feelings. These responses can be emotional, like feeling angry or hurt, or they can be more subtle, like quietly losing trust in someone. Understanding this basic definition helps us recognize these reactions in ourselves and others. So, what actually triggers a fairness violation response? It often starts when people notice unequal rewards or punishments. Maybe someone gets a bonus for no clear reason, or another person is punished more harshly for the same mistake. Favoritism, bias, broken promises, or double standards can all set off these reactions. Even being treated differently without a good reason can make us feel that something is just not right. When people perceive unfairness, their first reaction is often emotional. Common feelings include anger, resentment, moral outrage, and frustration. These emotions can be powerful and sometimes overwhelming, pushing people to speak out or take action. Even if the unfairness doesn't directly affect us, witnessing it can still trigger strong emotional responses. This emotional reaction is a key part of how fairness violations impact our lives. Beyond emotions, fairness violations also spark cognitive responses. People start to question what happened, thinking things like, "This isn't right," or "Why them and not me?" These thoughts can lead to a deeper reevaluation of trust in authority figures, systems, or even relationships. When fairness is broken, it challenges our beliefs about how the world should work, making us rethink who or what we can rely on. Fairness violations don't just stay in our heads, they often lead to action. People might complain, confront the source of unfairness, or even withdraw cooperation altogether. Some may retaliate or protest, while others simply lose motivation or see their performance drop. These behaviors are ways of coping with or trying to correct the unfair situation, and they can have a big impact on groups, workplaces, or communities. Why are we so sensitive to fairness? The answer lies in psychology. Our responses are rooted in equity theory and justice sensitivity, ideas that explain why we care so much about fair treatment. Humans are evolutionarily wired to detect unfairness because fairness promotes cooperation and group survival. Our brains are tuned to pick up on rewards and threats, making us quick to notice when something isn't fair. Fairness isn't just a social rule, it's a survival tool. Throughout human evolution, groups that treated members fairly were more likely to cooperate and thrive. This evolutionary advantage means our brains are hardwired to detect unfairness quickly. When we sense injustice, our brain's reward and threat systems activate, pushing us to respond and restore balance. This deep-rooted instinct helps explain why fairness matters so much to us. Modern neuroscience shows that our brains have dedicated systems for processing fairness. The same areas that handle rewards and threats light up when we experience or witness unfairness. This means our reactions aren't just learned, they're built into our biology. When fairness is violated, our brains push us to act, whether that means speaking up, withdrawing, or seeking justice. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine an employee who works extra hard but receives the same reward as a colleague who put in less effort. This situation often triggers feelings of anger and resentment. The employee might start questioning the fairness of the workplace, lose motivation, or even consider leaving. Such responses can ripple through the team, affecting morale and productivity. Fairness violations happen in schools, too. Picture a student who is punished for a mistake while others who made the same error go free. This can lead to frustration, loss of trust in teachers, and even behavioral problems. The student might feel singled out, question the rules, or stop participating in class. These reactions show how fairness is crucial for a healthy learning environment. Fairness issues can also arise at home. Imagine a sibling who receives more attention or privileges without any clear reason. This can create resentment and rivalry, damaging relationships between siblings and even with parents. Over time, these feelings can lead to long-lasting emotional scars and affect how family members interact with each other. When fairness is violated, trust takes a hit. People may lose faith in leaders, systems, or even friends and family. This erosion of trust can make it harder for groups to work together, solve problems, or support each other. Rebuilding trust after a fairness violation often takes time and consistent fair treatment going forward. Fairness violations don't just affect individuals. They can spark social movements and protests. When enough people feel that a system is unfair, they may come together to demand change. History is full of examples where perceived injustice led to powerful movements for civil rights, equality, and justice. These collective responses show how important fairness is for society as a whole. In the end, fairness is about more than just avoiding conflict. It's essential for building trust, maintaining morale, and fostering healthy relationships, whether at work, in school, or at home. Fairness drives cooperation, motivates us to do our best, and helps societies thrive. By understanding fairness violation responses, we can work toward more just and supportive environments for everyone.